Black folk art and crafts reflect the spirit of life in rural Mississippi, where artists and craftsmen work with familiar, locally found materials. In each community, the folk build and decorate their homes using traditional patterns which achieve function and beauty.
We get up early every morning. If that boy lived over yonder, it's about half a mile over there. We'd always see who's gonna be the first one up next morning. And we didn't do like children do today, sleep and lay in the bed, you have to call them up. We'd always get up and see which one gonna holler the first. And with me and my brother, at least I would always try to get up and walk up here on this hill up here so that voice would settle over there and wake him up. And he'd do the same thing if he happened to beat us up. So I'd walk up there and be early in the morning, and
The folk builder learns his trade from older craftsmen who cut and trim local wood for homes in their community. They build the dog trot home with its central breezeway to survive the hot Mississippi summer.
We'd always lay us down a jugger. You lay down a jugger, and then when you lay that jugger down, you slope your little place on that log and lay that log up on that jugger, and then get up on top of this log with an axe. Just walk that log and just chip it all the way up. And then take a broad axe, and then one come behind and just peel that, cut that off. Back there then, people made boards, oak boards. They went out and picked out a good tree. I'd imagine I picked out a big tree, so like that, and then cut them so long, and then get a man to make the boards. Then to put the boards on it. He could take baling wire, seagrass strings, or fake ropes, and unravel it, and bottom chill. Back there, didn't nobody know too much. We didn't have television and radios and things to open your eyes like we do today. That's his plan that he laid out. Said he put a hole between it and make it back there then, you didn't have air conditioning and one thing or another, and a hallway in a house makes it cool. So he said he put a hallway in here and it would make that air would circle through it and make it cool. Didn't nobody have nothing back there then. They're all poor people was in the same boat together. And so we had bought this little place here, and wasn't one able to help the other. So he just done like I done when I bought my place up there. I just had to figure it out and work it out in my mind. That's what he done. He just worked it out in his mind what he wanted to do. And so that's just where he built it.
Oh, I makes baskets for probably anything a person want them for. Maybe for cotton baskets, corn baskets, house, feed baskets, and just like this fella, little out there by that long, it's called picnic baskets, Just probably whatever, fella, Over there I make some, for pocketbooks, purses, like that. Yes, sir, it makes a lot of them for clothes baskets, like that, garbage baskets, and all like that. I can pull hickory, I can pull post oak, and I can pull long leaf pine if you can find it. But see, that's hard to find. You lie to go through this country from here clear on to Ferris over yonder, lie not to find no long leaf pine. But now you take the hickory, now it's a certain sort of hickory, you can get into the pool just like white oak. But now portion I ever run was white oak. Of course, I pulled some hickory, and I pulled some post oak. But it's just a certain kind you're going to have to get on either. But now you take white oak, why, it's probably any sort of white oak pool. Now I used to go in the swamps, in Ferris swamps and get it. Now that in Ferris swamps is just like silk. But this on the hill is the toughest. It's the toughest and the best. been right round ever since 49. Ever since 49. Because 48, I know I won't make them, but I moved in 49. And I started making in 49. Me and the fella started working together in 49. In fact, I didn't even know nothing about him. And so I'd go down and look at him and look at him and look at him. So finally one time he said, it's easy to learn. I said, I'm gonna try it. And so after I started, well, I've been making ever since. Probably I'll get my stuff. I can lay them in 5 and 6 at night. Maybe the next night I run them up, you know, I have a certain, thing to do. I don't have no trouble selling them. See, all I'm glad to do is they come by here and see them. And I sold Mr. Vine now a good many of them. Yes, sir.
Folk artists often find new designs in dreams and reshape cloth and clay as quilts and sculpture. Their art emerges from reused materials which decorate homes with bright colors and express a folk sense of beauty.
This print, and this print, and this here print, all over here is print. And you have you make your little block about like that, and sew them on and on. And then you have your quilt.
And the name of it is what you might call it.
String
The name
quilt.
of it is string quilt. We call it scrap quilt.
Well, my mama was quilting by herself, and I was small. And I said, if you run the shell off, I'd quilt. And I went there and quilted. She'd run the shell off, She kicked it right there and run it on up there, and I'd quilt behind. She said, well, I'm done with begging folks now to quilt.
Oh, and sometimes when all the women used to be together, they'd be quilting at night, have little lights to sit all over the quilt,
Little tin lamp.
Little tin lamp, and everybody sit around, and then what couldn't see how to thread the needle, they would get the children to come in, thread the needle for them, and then after a while they get up and go to eating and drinking, maybe have a little wine, and everybody feel good and start to go back quilting again. They'd have a good time quilting like that at night.
They get to quilting, then they go rocking.
Tell my love when I go home.
Well, my idea was we wanted ties to put the flowers in so that grass wouldn't grow around the flowers to ruin them. And we put them in, put the ties down, put the dirt in there, and plant the flowers in there, and we could keep the flowers more clean.
We wanted round pots, and we wasn't able to buy the round pots. And so we got the ties and filled them for the date and then put the flowers in. That's the idea. That's our growed up idea. In the garbage pile. That's why we got the ties from the garbage. We didn't have to buy them. Just go out there and pick them up.
I've been loving flowers all my days. Been planting flowers. My little child on up, I like flowers. And I don't like no flower don't bloom. I want it to bloom.
I was born east of Cannon, east of Jackson in Cannon, Mississippi. That's where I was born at. And I was brought here in my mother's arms, a little bitty suckling baby. Then after then, I got up so I could crawl around, walk, and I've been right around from Free Spring Church Water Valley, Oxford, Hollow Spring, Tullahoma, Luxahoma. I could dance, I could sing, ride horses, chop cotton and plow, hoop and holler, cut Somersets, do all that stuff. I come up the hard way. Been on the farm all of my days. Never been in no trouble. Never have. Never been arrested, kid, and locked up in jail in my life. My mother taught me from a baby till I got big enough to know to get out on my own. When I started making a cane, blowing a cane, when I was 13 years old. I just kept tuning and tuning and blowing and tuning. The more you do a thing, the more perfect come to you. Just like playing a guitar. You start playing a guitar. One piece you ever learn one, you just keep on tuning till another comes, you learn that. That's where I learned how to blow a cane.
I first began when I was in grammar school. As a little small kid, I always liked to draw. I just wanted to be drawing something. And from then on up, I could just continued on until this present time, just drawing something. Even I could close my eyes and just imagine a certain feature or something, and I could draw it. Going to school, I always liked to, draw, make some little sketches. Lots of time they didn't teach that subject in school, and I'd get chastised quite a few times for drawing in school, but that didn't discourage me. I just continued to, sketch. Oh, those are some of them, my schoolmates I used to go to school with, and I used to practice barbing. I'd cut hair, and seeing them, I could, just fun to try to imitate. In other words, it's the saying that a picture will speak louder than words, so to speak. You can show through a picture sometimes what you can never actually bring into words. Now this was my cousin. She, after graduation, she had one of those little small clips. And I tried to see if I could sketch her out as she looked on her graduation day. And this is what I came up with. And it's a pretty good likeness of her. I'll tell you about the walking sticks. When I went to school, I used to read about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and all those fellas back there. So George Washington got his name in history by cutting down his daddy's cherry tree. He cut down his cherry tree and become the father of our country. Abraham Lincoln made a record for himself by splitting rails. He got out and split rails, and afterward he finally become to be president. Well, I said to myself, if these fellas can do something, well, I started out to see what I could do with a pocket knife. So I taken a pocket knife, see, when was it, 19, and I believe it was about 36, 34, and I began making walking sticks. And I tried to place a stick in the hand of everybody around through this community, which I did. But yeah, of course, I sold them very cheap. I got as low, maybe 75 cents for some, and I got as high as $5 and $6 for some. But I placed a stick in everybody's hand that wanted one. So I got some I put the names on, some I wrote little, phrases and different things, and little glasses, and then little Bible verses, but they sold. And I sold them till I just got tired of making them. And see, 1933, when the panic was on, most all everybody in the community was on welfare, and the bucket brigade. But I kept the wolf away from my door with walking sticks, and that's the truth.
forgive a black man most in all thing he do. God forgive a black man most in all thing he do. You know I'm dark complexion, look like he forgive me too. I have never went to school to do this. I learned this from my uncle by making a mule. And after he quit, I kept on doing this sculpturing work. If I could buy enough of this clay, I believe I could do a whole man. K-Roll, K-Roll.
We call him K-Roll all the time. Man, this thing here. Now look. Cause it messed up now. This boy done shot it with BB guns and everything. Shot his nose out and everything. Now, when he first came around me, he started making these things up out of the house where I was. So I told him, well, there's son make me one of them things. So he made me an ashtray back in the head, in the bottom of the head there. He put it on the shelf. Well, that's all right. So every time he makes something, I tell him, I said, man, that's leave some. Even people come in and say, who made that? I said, a friend of mine. For sale, let's buy it. Give him 50 cents for him. Sometimes I sell a lot. I'm sitting in front of him, it's buying for me. This boy ain't an uncle bought something out there, big, long ducks and things. Sometimes they buy them and forget them, leave them on the shelf. But he's a wonderful man in this kind of stuff. I always admire his work. I like what he's doing. He's really good. He goes, everybody come around here looking for him to make a bud or something.